and we are Southwest Adventure Yoga, and we are filming the beautiful Tanque Verde Wash in Tucson, Arizona. And we're wanting to share just some foundational basic postures so that you can maybe start learning these postures and practicing them at home. If you're a beginner yoga student and you're practicing at a studio, it's a great way just to kind of tune in, get some different alignment points, and practice these postures. The more foundational postures you learn, the deeper you can go into your practice. So today we're going to take Jim through Warrior One modification called Crescent Lunge, and we're going to move from Crescent Lunge to Warrior Two into a Reverse Warrior. So I'm going to start at the top of the mat. So take your feet hip width apart, really make active feet, tuck your tailbone, draw belly in towards spine, and roll your shoulders down your back. Inhale, arms rise. Good. Go ahead and soften into your left knee, zip up the belly, and send your right toes back. And we're going to be on the ball of the back foot. So a lot of times we think that in Warrior One we have to have our heel down. In a traditional Warrior One, that is true. But when you're a beginner in yoga practice, you want to start more gently with your body. So we're going to just go from Crescent Lunge into Warrior Two. So it's a little bit easier on the hip joint. So you can see that we can take the stance a little wider. So take your back foot back just a little bit. Come a little deeper into this front leg. Perfect. Go ahead and take your hands to your hips. So I'm going to have Jim just adjust a little bit to make sure he has awareness to the pelvic bones. So soften into your right knee. Just bend the right knee. Now square your hips. Tuck your tailbone. Now feel about 60% of the weight of your body in that front left foot. And straighten through this back leg again. Good. Go ahead and continue to find length through your spine. Now take your arms all the way back up towards the sky. Belly draws and chin slightly tucked. Good. So this is a nice variation on a Warrior One. A lot of times when we're beginning our practice, Warrior One, taking that heel down just feels a little bit too stressful on our hip joint. So this is a great variation. So take a nice deep inhale here. We always want to follow our breath as leader through our practice. As you find your exhale, take your right heel down and open out your arms, coming to your Warrior Two. So great transition. We want to make sure though that we come back to double checking alignment. So heel to arch alignment, come a little deeper into this front knee, take this left hip back a little bit. So again, very important, this inner thigh tends to not want to be active in the pose. So we want to make sure that anytime you're practicing a Warrior Two, you can look down and see first and second toe. So this knee is wanting to be right over the ankle. So it really starts to open up into our hips. We're also going to make a small adjustment here on the shoulders. So just opening through the chest a little bit, shoulders soften down, face is soft, good. Now really continue to find those active feet that you had in standing. Find a nice deep inhale, and we're going to move into Reverse Warrior. So as you find your breath, go ahead and take your right arm to your right thigh, left arm finds extension. Legs stay exactly the same. So a key point, a lot of times when we move backwards into our Reverse Warrior, our front leg tends to want to straighten. So you want to bring awareness, make sure this front leg stays nice and strong, rooted and grounded down. So he has his energy strong and grounded from the bottom. He's rooting up. He's getting taller through the upper half of the body. We're inviting a lot of nice space and stretching through the obliques and through all the cartilage, all little spaces in the ribs. Beautiful. Continue to find your breath. If you ever notice in your practice you're holding breath, that's a really good clue that you're maybe pushing yourself a little too deep into the posture. So make sure breath is always flowing. So from here, as he takes his next inhale, he's going to cartwheel his hands down to the earth. So go ahead and take your hands all the way down. Exhale here, and then step back to downward facing dog. Good. So again, find the fingers spreading nice and wide, completely rooting down into the ground, pressing the earth away. Find your neck free of tension, so go ahead and keep your head between your arms. He's going to be gazing back up at his navel, making sure that we keep the neck free of any tension whatsoever. Belly is drawing in and up, tailbone still rooting towards the sky. And again, I point out that if you have tight hamstrings, that's totally normal. So we don't have to force our heels down to the ground. We want to soften into our knees. So that's a wonderful place to start with your downward facing dog. So take a nice deep inhale here. As you exhale, take your knees down to the ground, come into table pose. And take your knees wider, or as wide as your mat. Big toes touch, press back to child's pose. So some of those basic warrior postures are just very good to work into the hips, to strengthen the legs, strengthen the belly, find length in your spine. And now he's closed with a child's pose. So in your own practice after you watch this video, go ahead and take those same postures on the other side. So whatever we do on one side in yoga, we want to do on the other, so we're always balanced. And that is our little basics sequence for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Please feel free to visit southwestadventureyoga.com for more information, links to other great yoga sites, some other videos, and thank you so much. Bye.